What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Barcelona's financial outlook, right? What is Barcelona doing in terms of trying to get financially stronger? Where are we at currently? And I think that we do have a lot of good news to tell in this video. It's going to be, once again, very exciting. I cannot wait. And so let's talk about this, right? This is going to be very detailed. We're going to talk about a lot of numbers. It's really going to give us an understanding on where Barcelona's at financially and how well we have been doing over the past 9 to 10 months. So here's the big picture. Barcelona is financially recovering fast, right? Our revenues has been growing 33% over the past 3 years. And we have the whole LaLiga 1-1 compliance approaching very soon. That has to be done by June 30th, 2026. We have numbers to submit by that point to showcase to LaLiga that Barcelona have gotten financially stronger. What does it mean to get financially stronger? It means that we can spend more and get the players that we do want. And one of the reasons why Barcelona have been able to really give out good positive results, because they actually gave out a few drafts earlier today about where Barcelona might potentially be by the end of this season. They did say that the Camp Nou renovations is the reason why Barcelona's revenues have been growing a lot, and they will continue to grow. Like, I'm talking about compounding for the next 5 to 6 to 7 and beyond years. Now, Real Madrid currently lead in terms of revenue by like 186 to 210 million euros. However, the gap is closing. Right, Barcelona is matching up to Real Madrid, and they will eventually, and that is because, once again, of the Spotify Camp Nou, and because of how many people are starting to tune in to watch our games. Barcelona is one of the most entertaining, dominating teams in the world. Yes, you can also add in Real Madrid only because of their name. You also have Bayern Munich. You also have Manchester City. You also have Arsenal. But Barcelona is going up there in terms of how many people like to look at us, how many people like to tune in, how many people like to actually be there in person, go to the Spotify Camp Nou and pay for the tickets and watch Barcelona play, right? And of course, right, when you have Yamal, you have Pedri, when you have Rafinha, when you have Kubarsi, Balde, it is one of the most exciting teams. And now Barcelona are trying to comply with the 1-1 rule. And if you guys are new here, I'm quickly going to be explaining what the 1-1 rule is. It just basically means, like, for example, I know that you guys are coming from different like countries and you guys have different currencies, but I'm going to just speak based off dollars because I am from the US. So let's just say, for example, that you generate or you save $1. La Liga is going to tell you you can only, if you're under the 1-1 rule and you're not complying with it, La Liga is going to tell you you can only spend 30 cents to 40 cents of that $1. Because you're not allowed to spend that full dollar because you're not financially healthy. That is what La Liga is telling FC Barcelona and basically telling to you guys. Like, you guys can only spend 30 to 40% of that $1 that you have saved or generated off of player sales or revenues coming in. Now, if you are in the 1-1 rule, when you save or generate that $1, La Liga is going to say, yes, you can spend the full dollar if you want. So in the case of FC Barcelona, if they save or generate, let's just say 40 to 45 million euros in this summer, in whatever manner, if we are in the 1-1 rule, La Liga can tell us you can spend that exact same amount on bringing in a certain player like Bastoni, Julian, whatever, Osimhen, or Eta Young, or Abde, whatever, like any player. And so that is where Barcelona want to be at. They do not want to be restricted. And unfortunately for us, we have been under these restrictions over the past 4 to 5 years. Ever since COVID hit, we have been like this since 2020. So it does seem a little unusual as of right now for Barcelona to be linked with high profile players, because we have just been so accustomed to just barely being able to afford 40 million euro players and offering them wages of like 3 to 4 million euros a season, and basically depending on loans or free agents. That is why it just feels so weird. It feels almost unreal because we have just been so accustomed. So I would just say in shock, because we're like, how is this even possible? Like, how we're back? Like, is Barcelona back financially? Like, we can actually compete? That's crazy. And so, yes, it's true. Like, Barcelona are in a great position to be able to be that club again. And when we look at the past 3 seasons, right, we're going to start from the 2022-2023 season. Our revenue in that season was 806 million. You go on to the next one, we had 894 million. To the next one, we generated a revenue of 994 million, which was the previous season under Hansi Flick. And of course, that makes a lot of sense. Damn near €1 billion only because of our exceptional football. And then you look at this season where the Spotify Camp Nou, you know, we're opening to like 60,000 people. And because of all of these revenues coming in, because so many people are looking at us now, we are projected to have by the end of the season 1.075 billion. 1.075 billion in revenues, something and a number that has been confirmed by Joan Laporta. Joan Laporta is saying that we are expected to exceed 1 billion euros in revenue this season. That is crazy. And that is the reason why we have been able to say that we have seen a 33% growth in the past 3 years, averaging 10 to 11% annually every year, growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Once again, I want to make it clear that the reason why Barcelona have been generating massive revenues, why we have been improving, is first of all because of the Camp Nou. We're returning. We are at partial capacity at 45K to 62K in terms of like seats. We're going to get like larger and larger from there. The VIP packages and the fact that we have been able to sell some of those seats is going to bring 50 million euros in income, new income in this summer. Outside of that, we have the merchandising and sponsorships. We have a recorded of 259 million euros in sponsorships from the previous season. And that is because of the renewal. And then you look at the Champions League, which is also another huge factor. The fact that we have reached the quarterfinals of the Champions League in this season, that guarantees us 100.34 million from UEFA alone in terms of like the revenue. We will get injected 100.34 million like so far in this season because of the Champions League football progression that we have made. Now, our budget can get even bigger if Barcelona get into the semis and of course into the finals. And part of the reason why Barcelona were even like so huge in terms of like revenue generation in the previous season is because we went all the way to the semifinals. We want to repeat the exact same success financially and sportingly in this season, which is why it's a huge deal for us to get through Atletico Madrid. And it is expected that on top of the 100 million euros that we have already generated off of the Champions League, that if we get into the semifinals, we might potentially add an extra 32 million on top of that. So in total, let's just say worst case scenario, and I hope that this does not end up happening because I want Barcelona to win the whole goddamn thing. If we get knocked out in the semifinals for whatever reason, whether it's through Arsenal or Sporting, which is going to be a huge heartbreak for us, and I don't want that to happen, we might end up with 132 million euros in prize money by the end of the semifinals. And that's a huge boost for Barcelona. And in terms of our wages, right? So let's go to the cost control and how much we do spend on our players. In terms of our wages, we have been able to use our wages and basically say that, yeah, 54% of the revenue that we are using right now goes to the wages for our players. It used to be like 110%. They used to, bro, like 4 years ago, they were like, 110% of our revenues are going straight to our players. Now it's only 54% of our revenues are going to our players because the wage bill for our players has lessened a lot over the past few years. So we are very comfortable right now. And our net debt is also declining as well. Our salary cap has increased over the past few years. And so Barcelona are doing a very good job. Joan Laporta has done a lot of work. No wonder this man looks very stressed because he does not relax. I'm sure that he has a lot of sleepless nights. He probably like works like hell, 18 hours a day. But it does excite me. And I promise you guys, Barcelona's revenues are only going to get stronger from here, only because we're not even at 100% in terms of our capacity for the Spotify Camp Nou. Right now, like I've said, our capacity is 45K to 62K, bringing in an estimated of 226 million euros this season. In the next season, when we get into, let's just say, 2026, 2027 season, we're going to open to 70K to 80K in terms of our capacity with an expected revenue of 280 to 320 million euros. So a little bit more compared to where we're at right now. And then we'll reach full completion by late 2027, which could be around October through December 2027. Once we get through that phase, we'll have full completion at 105,000 people being able to come in terms of like our capacity. And our expected revenue would be 346 to 400 million euros a season from there. That's a lot. 346 to 400 million euros a season because of the Spotify Camp Nou going into full completion at 105,000 people. 105,000 people is a lot of people. We're probably gonna end up as like the biggest stadium in the world. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there is this stadium in Mexico that it has similar numbers, but I don't know the exact number. But I do, at the very least, Barcelona will have the biggest stadium one of the biggest stadiums in the world, which is the reason why our revenues will be so big. And it is also expected that because of these amplified numbers, that by 2027, 2028, our projected revenues is going to hit 1.2 billion a season moving from there. Once again, a lot of money. And we like it's very fun to also compare ourselves to a team like Real Madrid, because Real Madrid, where they're at right now, they are projected to say that we're going to be bringing in revenues of 1.2 to 1.2.5. And that is a lot of money. That's where Barcelona want to be at by the time we head towards 2027 and 2028. But they are there right now, and that is their projection. Our projection, like I've said, is 1.0. They're at 1.2. And so there's a huge, I will say, gap between Real Madrid and Barcelona right now. On a macro level, it doesn't seem that big, but a difference of 175 million euros a season is a big difference. Like, this is the reason why Real Madrid have been able to afford certain players that we could not afford, and why Real Madrid have been winning. And keep in mind that the reason why they have been able to generate this much because of their brand new stadium is not just because of the football games that they host. They also host concerts like Taylor Swift, because apparently every Real Madrid fan is a Swiftie. They like Taylor Swift. They enjoy it. Even though a lot of people around the Madrid city find it very annoying how they have to play like loud music at the Santiago Bernabeu at like 12 a.m., 1 a.m. Like, it's embarrassing, right? So, but they also do generate revenues because of NFL matches, right? They like to welcome the NFL teams, which are teams that are based here in America, and just host them out there at the Santiago Bernabeu, which is another reason why they have been able to generate, or they are expected to generate 1.2 billion. And then you have tourism. Of course, they have that. Now, let me kind of be honest with you guys. I want to be honest. I never told you guys this, but when I went to Spain, I actually went to the Santiago Bernabeu and I gave them $30. I know that's embarrassing. I did not want to give them $30 to go inside, but I just had to see how it looked like from the inside. And let me tell you, it was freaking ugly. I feel like I was in jail. You might as well just go to like a jail cell in San Francisco or something like that. Like, it looks exactly the same. It's disgusting. But yeah, I went to go see it, but that's besides the point. I'm happy to see that Barcelona is closing the gap with Real Madrid, and we're going to be able to compete against Real Madrid in terms of signings, which is going to be a lot of fun to see 2 years from today. But let's just continue to move on from here. Let's continue to progress through the Champions League, and let's win that prize money. Let's solidify those VIP seat sales. Let's continue to open our Spotify Camp Nou to further people. And great job to John Laporta. That is it, right? So that is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.